What's going on, guys? Aenemian, I want to thank you for your question. I'm just going to go kind of along a rant, and I hope somewhere along the way I cover all the bases. You asked what future generations are going to condemn us for, and I think the answer is really quite simple. It's going to be our fucking apathy. The world is falling apart, and nobody seems to give a shit. No one's even talking about it. And throughout this video, I'm going to be speaking in general terms. I don't mean like every single person is this way, just in general. We still have problems that should not even be issues in this day and age. Women are still being raped and dehumanized. The homosexual community is being discriminated against and tortured. We've got wars being fought along race lines, religion, politics, and it's all bullshit that should not be happening anymore. Like, it's crazy to me how with all these tremendous strides in technology, we seem to be going backwards as people when we should be growing too. We should be advancing, but we're not, and it makes me sad. I know I hold a deep personal, sincere disdain for the baby boomers. I really do hold them accountable for a lot of the shit we're facing today. Because the majority of the ones I've met have been motivated by greed and closed-mindedness and just perpetuating the fucking cycle that needs to be stopped. I do think that I wrote once that generation through the 60s and 70s, they had the sex, the drugs, the rock and roll, and all that left us with were STDs, antidepressants, and fucking Coldplay. It's not fair. I feel like we've been junkies since the womb because they took so many drugs and then it threw them off balance, so then they had to have pharmaceuticals in order just to function, and we were pumped that in utero, and I think it's messed a lot of us up. And personally, I was raised by TV, which is the worst fucking mentor you can have, because parents don't take an active role in their kids' lives as much as they should. So that just creates generations of lost individuals, and a lot of times it seems like most of us are just set up for failure because we were never taught any different. I do think we need to get rid of the two-party political system. I'm not a fan of anything that divides us, especially based upon ideals that were bred into us. We were fucking programmed to think a certain way and never trained to think for ourselves, which means the cycle is just going to keep going and going and going, and it needs to be broken. The world is fucked, and we need to stop it now before it's too late. You asked what advice or what I would say to my grandchildren. To be honest with you, I don't really even think about that for two reasons. One, I have trouble getting a relationship to last longer than 6 months, so grandchildren are the farthest thing from my mind. But I also don't think that the world is going to be around long enough, or the world as we know it is going to be around long enough for them to even be around. And nobody cares. Like, no one talks about it. But since you pressed me, if I could deliver a message to them, it would be simply that I hope someday you are able to exist and I get the chance to meet you. But we need to change. We need to change, and it has to be soon because we're running out of fucking time. We need to stop worrying about who the Kardashians are fucking, or as you so eloquently put it, people like the Jersey Shore. Like, we need to stop with the mindless distractions that we willingly partake in, because that's just going to make the powers that be that much stronger. Thanks for your question. I hope I touched upon what you were looking for. Yeah, if you have any other questions, you know what to do. Alright, thanks.